You know, as a dad, there are a lot of things that I like to do with my kids, and one of the most important things that I do with them is I cook with them. Now, it's not an everyday occurrence. It's not every meal, and that's part of probably what makes it special. So what I do, it's one of my big things, is big breakfast. I like to make eggs, bacon, sausage, tater tots, Spam. The whole point of it is to get them as involved as possible with something that they can do. For instance, I don't expect the 5-year-old to be able to crack eggs, or really the 7-year-old. It would get very messy. However, having worked with them for a while, the 7-year-old actually does a very good job of cracking the eggs into the bowl with very few. Occasionally there are a couple pieces of eggshell actually left over. And then we basically I allow her to mix and whip the eggs, and just to do it as long as she possibly can. It actually makes the eggs very fluffy and very nice. We add a little bit of pepper and a couple of other spices. We put in a little bit of milk. And then when it's all fluffed and I'm done with the meating part, I do all the meats myself. After we're done with the meat, then we move the eggs over onto the stove and she cooks them herself. Now, it's not without my supervision. I'm there, I'm watching, but I let her do it, as much of it as she possibly can, by herself. And I think this is important as a dad. Sometimes we're not as involved with our kids as maybe we should be. Certainly not as involved as we could be. And when we give them an opportunity to shine like that, to do things on their own, we're helping them become the people that they are supposed to be. If you thought about that, if we're constantly doing things for the kids, here, now let me do that, then what we're telling them is that they're not good enough, that they're not smart enough, that they're not capable of doing these things, which really, honestly, there's no reason why they shouldn't be. I'm fully confident that all of my kids would be able to stay alive on eggs at the very least, assuming we had some in the house, if something were to happen to mom and dad. The point being this, that the more often we cook with our kids, the more often we show them how we do things, and then let them do it, let them fail too. There was one time when my son, who's now 14, I think he was around maybe 8 or 9 at the time, he put in, instead of the Lowry's seasoned sauce, seasoning, he put in taco flavoring, accidentally, of course. It did not taste good. In fact, it was horrible. But we ate some of it, and we learned, and he learned, and so now he's been very careful ever since to make sure that he reads the seasoning before he puts it into the eggs. And, you know, whatever it is that you're doing with your kids, if you like to make brownies, if you do steak, I mean, whatever you can, let them do it themselves. Give them instructions, show them how to do it, and whatever kind of instruction your kids take best. One of my sons is best instructed by reading something. I write out the instructions for him. Another one of my sons is best instructed by doing it himself, with me instructing him orally while he's doing it. Another one of my daughters, my 7-year-old actually, she learned best by watching me do it and then doing it herself. You see, everybody has a different learning style, and every kid, obviously, if they like to learn, make it fun, they're going to keep on learning things on their own. That's my 2 cents. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider becoming a subscriber, or you can become a patron at Patreon. All of the links are there for you at radiofreespeech.com. If you have a particular topic you'd like me to address in my commentary, email me, steve@radiofreespeech.com. And coming soon, we're going to get the phone lines in, and we're going to start having some interactive discussion on some of the issues. And we'll have to pick a time that'll work for people. So send me your suggestions about that as well. Steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.